In the world of Demon Slayer, the Hashira are elite slayers who stand at the pinnacle of combat prowess within the Demon Slayer Corps. These remarkable warriors are recognized for their exponential skills, unwavering dedication, and unique breathing techniques. Each Hashira specializes in a specific form of combat, and their mastery over the various breathing techniques grants them incredible strength, agility, and speed. But how does this play up against an opponent such as Toji?
Toji Fushiguro was demonstrated to be the strongest non-sorcerer or cursed spirit due to his heavily restriction, but he should easily be placed within the special grades of the JJK tiering system. A man being part of one of the strongest clans in the JJK verse being the Zenin clan. For this fight, we're going to see how he would do against the Hashira. So how strong is the Mog warrior? Toji, even while rusty, was able to tear through two special grade sorcerers being Gojo and Geta with little effort. This will scale him way above all the grade 1 sorcerers. In the Shibuya arc, Toji in his Edo state was able to overwhelm Dagon even with his domain open, which will scale him above Dagon. Dagon along with Megami should be stronger than the Finger Bearer that was able to light up an entire cave with just his cursed energy alone. This feat was calculated to be around town level, which is consistent since people like Jogo can destroy a large chunk of a city with his meteor. And Tochi should scale above the disaster curses, making his AP large town to small city level AP. And with Highball, he can scale into island level, since he's directly stronger than Dagon. And his domain can summon an island, but I won't Highball for the video. Now for his speed. It is implied that Toji could have wiped out the Zenin clan whenever he wanted to, which would put him above any of the Zenin clan members, excluding current Maki. This would put Toji above someone like Naobito, who was stated to be the fastest sorcerer behind Gojo. Naobito would upscale from Yuji, who was able to react to Choso's piercing blood, which is calculated to be at Mach 1.5. And Yuji being able to react to Mai's bullets, which can be around Mach 3 or more. Which is consistent since Maki herself even admitted Toji would have done better in her fight against Cursed Naiwa, which would include things like dodging his attacks which surpass Mach 3 speeds. It is not easy to quantify exactly how much stronger Toji is compared to them, but he should be safe to put him anywhere between supersonic to hypersonic speeds. And for his reaction speed, he should be at least comparable to Hikari's reaction speed, which should be around massively hypersonic thanks to his extrasensory perception. And for his abilities, since he doesn't have any cursed energy, he mainly relies on his cursed tools, such as his soul-splitting katana, which can directly attack the soul and ignores durability. He also has his chain of 1,000 miles, which can extend indefinitely as long as you don't let the end of the chain be seen. For this particular fight, we won't be using the inverted spear of heaven because it's pretty useless for who he's fighting against. Due to his restrictions, it gives him extrasensory perception, which enhances his 5 senses. Because of this, Toji will have a similar ability to Maki, who can see the differences in temperatures and density of the air itself, and allowing her to predict people's movements because of this. If you believe Toji has the same ability, then he would have the same type of precog because of what I explained earlier.
When scaling the Hashira, it's relatively easy and consistent. I like to individually scale each Hashira in the order I think is the best in terms of capability. And to avoid any contentious or burn in the comments, I'll make a complete in-depth video ranking the Hashira from weakest to strongest. Without further ado, let's begin. The first being the Sun Hashira Uzui Tengen. Tengen being the Hashira that fought up against Upper Moon 6 Guitar would make him relative to Guitar. Daki was able to keep up with attacks against Tanjiro. Tanjiro at this time was able to dodge attacks from the Drum Demon, which has stated sound-based attacks, placing Daki in supersonic speed. With Tengen being able to keep up with the stronger of the two in Guitaro as well as Speed Bliss the same Daki, knowing this, Tengen would have hypersonic in speed. In terms of AP, we see Guitaro destroy large buildings, and for Tengen to damage Guitaro, Tengen would have to scale the large building AP. Next up, the Flame Hashira Kyojiro Rengoku. Rengoku's best feat being him defeating lower rank 1 Inmu of the 12 Kizuki. It's completely wrong to scale Rengoku relative to Akaza, as Akaza was legit trolling him. Rengoku would scale above Tanjiro at the time, as Tanjiro stated he couldn't even track them or see them, which would scale above the speed of sound. And knowing Rengoku was fighting Akaza, given the fact Akaza is an upper rank 3 demon, I do think Rengoku would scale above Guitaro. Knowing the previous scale, Rengoku would scale to hypersonic speeds with the large building plus AP. Next being the Love Hashira Mitsuri Kanroji. Mitsuri scaling above all of the previous scales and feats. In her battle with the Upper Moon Force, she awakens her Demon Slayer mark. The Demon Slayer mark increases the user's physical strength and speed, as well as augment the user with Transparent World or Precog. It also benefits the red Nirchin blade, but for this battle against Toji it's kinda unneeded unless you want to give the Hashira a really hot blade, then sure. Mitsuri battling Upper Moon 4 to Muzan himself. With Upper Moon 4 being above 6 and 5, as well as being able to shoot light in which Mitsuri dodges, this would place Mitsuri at massively hypersonic speeds, considering if you think she's able to repeat that same speed. But given she endured attacks from Muzan as well as kept up with Upper Moon 4's Zohakuten, which has giant wood dragons and unique abilities, who is directly below that of Upper Moon 3, that has a direct calc to scale to multi-city block plus. We're then able to grant Mitsuri city block AP. Next up, the fastest Hashira, no debate. The inset Hashira Shinobu Kocho. With Upper Moon 2, Doma complimenting her speed multiple times, as well as the statement by Doma stating that Shinobu was the fastest pillar he's ever met. Doma being the second ranked demon within Muzan's 12 Kizuki, this obviously places him above Upper Upper Moon 4 Zohakuten, in which shoots lightning, as well as the newly acquired Upper Moon 6 Kaigaku, which utilizes the Breath of Thunder style. Doma being extremely higher than all of this, by him calling Shinobu fast, grants Shinobu massively hypersonic plus speeds. We can actually get Demon Slayer characters higher than this. Kaigaku in his evident weakened human form was a user of the Thunder breathing style, and just by being in the presence of Upper Moon 1 Kokoshibu, he states his cells themselves was scared to the point of screaming and crying. Demi Kagaku states his thunder breathing has gotten stronger, and which would augment his speed as well. And directly after stating this, he gets blitzed by Zenitsu's Breath of Thunder 7th form, in which Kagaku says he couldn't even see, and was overall confused of what even happened to him. And this is coming from a user of faster lightning, in which the augment Demon Slayer was sub-relativistic speeds. Now that Shinobu's speed is covered, her AP is kinda unevident, as her sword is a fragile blade made specifically for her. She herself isn't physically strong enough to behead demons, so she resorts to poison. We can however scale her poisons. Shinobu's poisons being effective to Doma and even leading to his eventual death. Doma being an opponent with a direct count of multi-city block plus AP at a heavily weakened state. This would mean Shinobu's poisons would be enough to kill any opponent without immediate poison resistance, as her poisons work over time, overcoming poison resistance shown in her battle with Doma. Her poisons will be effective to any opponent with multi-city block plus AP and even higher. The youngest Hashira and that of the Miss Hashira, Mucho Tokito. Mucho is able to blitz Upper Moon 5 Gyoko several times, and with his awakened mark granting him a faster speed as he one-shotted Gyoko and was practically trolling him the entire fight. Later in the Hashira's battle against Upper Moon 1 Kokoshibu, Mucho was shown to dodge many of Kokoshibu's attacks. Doing these speed feats, Mucho would require massively hypersonic and even massively hypersonic plus in speed. Mucho, in my opinion, have one of the best, if not the best, endurance in the series. This includes being able to endure poison while fighting Gyoko to even enduring Kokoshibu's attacks, such as losing an arm, getting stabbed through the chest, and even being cut in half, and still being of use to the very end of the battle. For Mucho, one tapping Gyoko to damaging Kokoshibu, his requirement for AP would be multi-city block plus AP. Next, the Serpent Hashira Obanai Iguro. Obanai being above all previous Hashira is simply self-evident. His performance against Muzan is in the conversation for MVP, for sure it is. Muzan being above all upper moons, any feats against Muzan is up for praise. Obanai was able to not only damage Muzan, he was able to avoid and endure attacks as well. Not only that, but Muzan attacks are stated to get more persistent and faster. Knowing this, Obanai was still able to perform and dodge as well as attack, with the mark further increasing Obanai's performance against Muzan. Being the first Hashira to help Tanjiro after getting knocked away and damaged, and all while extremely weakened, stated by Muzan himself, he was still able to significantly damage Muzan side by side with Tanjiro. Obanai's speeds being massively hypersonic plus in order to perform such feats. As for AP, in order to damage Muzan, who dwarfs all the upper moons, this would require small town to large town levels of AP. Next up, my favorite Hashira, the water Hashira Tomioka Giyu. Giyu in his battle against Akaza as well as Muzan is able to damage Upper Moon 3 and Muzan as well as to dodge and avoid attacks from both opponents, even going as far as to awaken his Slayer mark against Akaza, and was able to point blank save a member of the Demon Slayer corpse from Demon King Tanjiro, and up to the very end perform against Demon King Tanjiro, post Akaza and Muzan battle, all while heavily injured. Like previously mentioned, any feats against opponents like this is granting you massively hypersonic to sub-relativistic speeds. For AP, Giyu is able to endure multiple attacks from both Akaza and Muzan, as well as take attacks from Demon King Tanjiro, and even survive the great battle against Muzan all with one arm. Attacks of this potency is small town to large town levels. My second favorite Hashira, the Wind Hashira Sanemi Shinaguzua. Sanemi having awakened his Slayer mark, being able to dodge and kill Upper Moon 1 Kokoshibu alongside Gyome, Yuichiro, and Genya, as well as survive the great battle against Muzan, in which he was able to avoid attacks from Muzan and still perform post Kokoshibu battle. With these speed feats, Sanemi would be massively hypersonic plus for speed. Sanemi, having the strongest durability among the Hashira, was able to endure many of the attacks for both Kokoshibu and fatal attacks from Muzan, not even losing a single limb. Sanemi enduring attacks from Muzan as well as damage Muzan on multiple occasions would be town levels to large town levels of AP. Last but not least, the MVP of the Kokoshibu battle, the Stone Hashira Gyome Himajima, the most respected and stated strongest Hashira, being praised by both Kokoshibu and Muzan. Having been able to awaken his Slayer mark, also having been able to dodge attacks from Kokoshibu and Muzan is evident in massively hypersonic plus speeds. With the second strongest durability only behind Sanemi, he was able to endure both many attacks from Kokoshibu and survive long enough against Muzan to realize they won. Gyome being able to land many attacks from Kokoshibu, leading to his eventual death and even smash Muzan multiple times. any AP of this caliber requiring town to large town levels of AP. Yeah, so I don't think Toji really has any win cons here unless you think he just snaps the soul split con on the end of the chain, just starts swinging it around. But even then, I think they're just way too much faster. You know, they was able to react to Muzan's tentacles. He has multiple of them, you know, swinging them around as well.
Yeah, and plus half of them have like the see-through world and everything, so they can just predict his movements. So he's kind of just screwed here.
It's not as fast or anything. Yeah, I think one by one he does kind of, you know, he does really do kind of decently good. But in a 1v9, I just think he gets overwhelmed, you know, with all the speed, and especially with Shinobu's Wilson's being a very, very, very viable option here for the Hashira.
Yeah, I don't think at that point she would need that. I think we just, he almost like little chain thing would just rip his head off.